Hi everyone, this is János from Real World Audio, and I'm going to show you how to order parts online. And I'm going to show DigiKey and Mouser because these are some of the biggest sources, at least here in the United States or North America. You can order from them. And but you can, what I will show to you applies to any other electronic store online. This is how they work. These are just examples. I am not affiliated with them. I ordered probably 100 times from them, but they are not sponsoring this video. I'm just doing this because many of you already told me that you found them very hard to order from, so this is just some help. Okay, so let's just DigiKey. Let's just like put into Google search DigiKey and it will show you DigiKey Electronics, right? So now we just click on the link and here we are, homepage of DigiKey, and it has a search bar here, and now let us look for a resistor, and this will be something that we want. I will show this as an example to look for a Wirewound resistor, a chassis mount Wirewound resistor for the Darling amplifier, and this will be a resistor that you can use to drop the filament voltage. Because why? I will explain that in another video. Now I just show you how to find such a resistor. And you just first, let's say, now you are looking for resistors, you just type in resistor into the search line, okay? And just hit enter. And now it's going to look through resistors. And now it says I found like 1.5 million search results, and that's where people usually give up because that's too much. How do I find it? First of all, click the options in stock, so it's going to limit your search results to those resistors which are in stock, because if it's not in stock you might need to wait a couple of months or half a year until it's stocked, so you don't want to look for parts that you cannot get, right? And now if you scroll down, this will show you the big categories, what kind of resistors you can get, and surface mount resistors, chip resistors. Now this is something that you usually want to avoid for audio use. It is very chic for modern components. These are the cheapest resistors available, but anyway, I just avoid them like the Black Plague. Through-hole resistors or chassis mount resistors are ones that we are looking for today, one or the other, for this purpose, to have some voltage drop for our filament supplies. And I'm choosing the chassis mount because these are such resistors that you can mount to your chassis, so you can screw them on. If it's a through hole, it means you need some kind of support for those resistors. You need to mount them to something. So the chassis mount, you click on it and it will limit your search to chassis mount resistors. Okay, so now when we have our chassis mount resistors, and here we have a sliding bar, and there's like 1 billion categories that you can refine your search. So the first one is always the manufacturer and a series of resistor. Don't worry about that at this point. Resistance, that's what we want to look for. When you look for a resistor, you always know what ohm value you want to get. So now we are looking for 100 ohm resistor. Okay, so now we click on 100 ohms. If you can click on multiple values and you use like the shift click button to select multiple ones or deselect, or you can use the control. If you hold the control, you can deselect a single one. and just select specific values you want to look up. So right now I just want to look for 100 ohm resistor, and you can also check out what sort of tolerance, which means that the resistor will be, if it's 1% tolerance, it means the resistor will be from 99 ohm basically to 99.5 to 105, 100.5 ohms. And then if it's a 10% rating, oh sorry, it's plus minus 1, so basically 99 ohm to 101, and 10% is 90 to 110. For us it doesn't matter because it's just for filament dropping. We don't need any tight tolerances there, we can leave it alone. Usual tendency, the tighter the tolerance, the higher the price will be. So if you are looking for a cheaper resistor, you check in the 10%, more expensive 1% tolerance. Now at this point I'm not checking in anything, we just see the results. So now, let's go and have a look at the wattage rating. So here we need to have a quite higher wattage resistor. So I'm checking in 10 watt, but I am checking in the whole slew until 20 watts. So anything between 10 and 20 watt. And even if you need like a specific wattage of resistor, let's say 10 watt, it means that you can use anything that's higher than 10 watts as well. And I like to check in a range of categories, because sometimes they have certain resistors on sale, and it can happen that maybe a 16 watt resistor will be better priced than your 10 watt resistor. And all in all, the higher the wattage you get, the better you will be off, and the better sound you will have, because it will have a lower stress. So anyway, there's much more choices there, but at this point let's just hit this apply. And when we click on apply, now we have this is the search result. Let's just go back to the beginning of this series, and when we go down, now here is our list, and it says that page 1, results per page 17, and we have one page. So basically 17 different resistors, right? And it shows all kinds of properties of each resistors. So now if you just want to be really quick about it, there's the price column. You can choose like to sort the prices, and you click on it and it will resort the results. So you can go from most expensive to least expensive, or vice versa. $52 a resistor, we don't want that, that's just really too expensive. But you see, if you go look for the cheapest, we can find one for slightly over $2. So it's a pretty cheap resistor. And now there's another one, almost $3, and then we are going upper in prices, but we stay under $10 for quite a while. And then we have that really expensive Vishay Dale resistor. And now let's see what is the difference between all these resistors. If we go on and look here, that says the resistance tolerance. So you see it's 5% tolerance, wattage rating 20 watt, Wirewound. And now when you are hunting for resistors, look for this value, the temperature coefficient, because this will tell you what is the change, what is the stability of the resistor. If you have a high value like that, 300 ppm, it means it's a crappy resistor, because it means that it's not stable. So if it's getting hotter, then the resistance changes, and you don't want that. So you want something where the resistance stays as close to the nominal resistance regardless of the temperature. So So that's one reason that tells you. So if the ppm value is very high, like that 300, then that's a likely indication of for that low price. And now if we look for lower ppm values, we will generally find that the lower we go, the more expensive it gets. But look at that, right under that we have another one, and that's only a 30 ppm resistor, 15 watts. Who makes it? TE. And chassis mount 5%, 15 watt. This is perfect. So we can use that for our darling project. And that's like a generic company. Or if you want something more specific, more high end, you can look for the Riadon brand. And that totally looks like a Dale resistor, like a Vishay Dale. And this company, the Riadon, they make parts for aerospace industry and medical instruments. So they are using these parts for on the space shuttle and stuff like that. And look, 1% tolerance. So so you can also look for this guy. Let's see how many ppm. Oh, look at that, 20 ppm. So you see, if you just look for the name of the company who makes that, if you are looking for resistors, Riadon is a nice choice. I found them lately in the past couple of years, and they are pretty decent and generally decent sounding for audio. At least those resistors are tried out. So you can choose this $3 a resistor. It's not going to break the bank. And when you click on it, then basically it shows you how does the product look like. So basically this totally looks like the Vishay Dea Wirewound resistor. So it means that it has an aluminum housing that you can mount to the chassis with screws through that. And basically this aluminum housing is a heat sink around the resistor, and that this small heatsink actually clamps onto your metal chassis, and your metal chassis becomes the big heatsink. So then actually that's why it has a higher wattage rating, because there's a very nice big heatsink around it, plus your chassis that's going to make the heatsink even larger. And then you solder the ends, your 120 volts input, or 240 in Europe, and then this goes to your filament transformer at the other end. You solder your wire here, or whatever application you are using it. So basically, and when you are here, it's just very easy. You enter how many you want, 5. I would say for the darling project, get 5 of these guys, and that will be like a $16 total. I did not include these guys in the project description because you may need it or you might not need it. It depends on what is your actual line voltage you are getting at home, and what voltage you are getting at the filaments when you try out your darling amp. If the voltage you are reading is much higher than the filament voltage, then you can add these guys in the transformer to so in series with the filament transformer to bring the voltage down. You can use 1 or maybe 2 if needed in series, or you can parallel 2 of them. That's the easiest way to work around with those things. So that's why I recommend getting 5, because you can just play around with the combinations for the different filaments if you need them. But I would say at the beginning, maybe hold off on these resistors and see what are the filament voltages you are getting, and if you need dropping, then you can use these. Or if you want to make it more complicated, you can actually calculate how much you exactly need to drop. For now, this was our example on how to search something at DigiKey, and basically here we just add it to the cart, and then when it's in your shopping cart, you just click on the cart and you check out, or if you don't have an account yet, then check out as a guest, and that's it. And it's the exact same process that you use with Mouser Electronics. They have essentially the same search engine. So I hope this helped everyone. I'm going to show another example doing this search. I will use the Mouser's website so that you can see that it is the same as this, and I will look up DC link capacitors, because I have mentioned that I'm using these capacitors in power supplies for crossovers, and very few people are using this. I think probably I was one of the first people in the world to start using these capacitors for crossovers and power supplies, and it's not so straightforward how to find them, and we'll do that in a future video. So thank you for tuning in, and just be brave ordering your resistors and parts online. It's very easy and very convenient. After you've done it once, it will be, you will see, very easy. Bye bye.